80-year-old Japanese adventurer Yuichiro Mizura has become the oldest person to scale Mount Everest. It's the third time he has climbed the world's highest peak. Miura stepped onto the 8,848-meter summit on Thursday after leaving his final camp at 8,500 meters. He said conditions at the peak were calm, allowing stunning views of the Himalayas below. Miura said he was exhausted, but added that his age had not been an issue during the climb. He thanked his supporters. The intrepid climber began his ascent from the base camp at 5,300 meters on Thursday last week. Before reaching the summit, Miura had to make his way through several treacherous sections, including the ice fall at the head of a crumbling glacier and the icy wall of the Lhotse face. Miura also climbed Mount Everest when he was 70 and 75 years old. With his latest feat, he has broken the age record set by a 76-year-old Nepalese climber 5 years ago. Japan plans to launch its new Epsilon rocket in August in its bid to advance to the world's space industry. It will be the new rocket produced in 12 years. With the new rocket, Japan aims to compete in the global satellite launch business. The Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency has spent 3 years to develop the high-performance, low-cost rocket. The Epsilon enabled Japan to cut personnel costs drastically while improving task efficiency. The rocket needs only 2 computers to control the launch. The cost of launching the Epsilon rocket is about $38 million, about one-third the cost of the H-2A rocket. JAXA plans to reduce the cost even further to $30 million over the next 4 years. The Epsilon is 24 meters high and will blast off from the agency's Uchinura Space Center in Kagoshima Prefecture. A JAXA official said Japan can get international orders with this highly efficient, low-cost rocket, and the real challenge of the Epsilon will start from now. It's the ultimate in a paperless future, a scanner that reproduces digitally. Japan's technology giant Fujitsu has been showcasing their vision of the future in Tokyo. Dubbed the next generation user interface, this prototype system enables users to scan, store, and manage physical documents with finger gestures and create digital copies instantly. Fujitsu calls this intuitive touch-based operation. The device can even be combined with another tool of the modern age, the smartphone. By reading the digital copies, relevant information about the scanned image appears on the screen. In an age where physical documents are slowly but surely being replaced by digital ones, Fujitsu is attempting to build a bridge that could bring together the best of both worlds. The same image processing technology that bridges the real and digital can also be used in the medical field. For example, by measuring the variation of brightness of a person's face throughout to be caused by the flow of their blood, their pulse can be measured in about 5 seconds. Developers say that the real-time pulse monitor using facial imaging can be installed in laptops and smartphones and can be used in a wide variety of situations. Even after the removal of the physical document, the digital copies remain and can be viewed and moved freely on the table. The interface can also detect headlines in a physical document and assign them corresponding images, videos, or texts stored in its memory. Iran has officially inaugurated a railroad which connects the northern Iranian city of Gorgan to Inche-Borun town along the border with Turkmenistan. The Gorgan-Inche-Borun railroad came on stream in a ceremony attended by Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad and Roads and Urban Development Minister Ali Nikzad in Golestan province on Monday. The 80-kilometer-long rail project, which is part of a broader railway network, links Iran to Central Asia, Russia and China and has the capacity to annually transfer 10 million tons of goods and more than 4 million passengers. The initial agreement on the construction of the railroad was signed between the presidents of Turkmenistan and Kazakhstan in the city of Turkmenbashi in April 2007, and Iran joined the deal in September 2007. The 920-kilometer railroad will shorten more than 600 kilometers off the route for transporting goods from the Central Asia to the Persian Gulf and will become one of the most important international transportation links between China and Europe. South Korea's first locally developed helicopter, the Suryeon, swiftly takes off with grace. The helicopter has the capability of moving freely in any direction, even at low altitude. It is also designed to fly easily over Korea's mountainous topography. Capable of hovering as high as 2,700 meters, which is the equivalent to the height of Mount Baekdu, the Suryeon helicopter can deploy troops anywhere in a mountainous region. The Suryeon is also the first homegrown helicopter to be equipped with an automatic pilot system, enabling the aircraft to lift off, touch down and fly without manual control. The aircraft has a three-dimensional electronic map system and more than double the amount of avionics than conventional helicopters. This gives the Suryeon the ability to be deployed not just during the day, but also at night and in bad weather. The cutting-edge Suryeon can carry up to 9 fully armed troops and cover a range of 440 kilometers, allowing it to carry out missions all over the Korean peninsula. The Korean military plans to replace its old helicopters with some 200 Suryeons by 2022, starting with 20 this year. As the dusk settles in on the South Korean Gyeongbok Palace grounds, the elegant buildings begin to glow under the gentle lighting and moonlight. Gyeongjung-jeon, the king's residence in Gyeongbok Palace, stands tall, and Gyeonghoi-ru, where kings and his officials are entertained, casts a splendid reflection onto the lake. During the palace nighttime opening, visitors will be able to see 40% of the Gyeongbok Palace grounds, including Gyeongjung-jeon and Gyeongsu-jeon, which used to be the king's office, as well as the Gyeonghoi-ru Pavilion. Visitors stroll along the lighted path where Joseon-era kings would take walks during the evening after a hard day at work. Gyeongbok Palace has been open to the public at night every summer and fall since 2010. This will be the 6th nighttime opening. A New York-based artist, along with the support of at least 100 Afghan volunteers, handed out 10,000 pink balloons on the streets of Kabul on May 25th to help send a message of happiness and peace to Afghans. One of the Afghan coordinators of the project said the aim is to get Afghan people to think about how to encourage peace and happiness in their own country. Zarlasht Sarmast, an Afghan artist and coordinator of the program, believes every balloon represents a message of peace and hope for change in a country where citizens have suffered from 3 decades of war and poverty.
We want to show the world and we want to show the people of Afghanistan that if we can give away 10,000 pink balloons to Afghanistan, we are going to give away 10,000 opportunities to bring happiness in somebody's morning.
Insurgent attacks against civilians, government workers and Afghan security forces have increased since the Taliban announced their so-called spring offensive late last month. On Friday, insurgents launched attacks in the heart of the capital Kabul, which created fear and disappointment among the city's residents. Such attacks reinforce concerns about how the 352,000 members of the Afghan security forces will cope with the insurgency after the mostly foreign NATO-led combat troops leave by the end of next year. Researchers at the University of Hong Kong have found that the H7N9 avian flu virus can infect pigs and ferrets. They've also found that the disease can spread by airborne transmission or by droplets. They are not ruling out the possibility of a flu pandemic if there is a genetic mutation of the virus. Human infections of the H7N9 avian flu have been confirmed on the mainland China since March this year. Researchers say there's the possibility of human-to-human transmission, although in the case of the H7N9 virus, it may not be as effective as the H1N1 swine flu virus. Researchers are trying to find out which other animals may transmit the virus, and they've not ruled out the possibility that the virus can spread to domestic pets such as dogs and cats. The Aquatic Robot Competition 2013 kicked off Saturday in Ningbo City, east of China's Zhejiang province, attracting more than 300 competitors from 35 prestigious colleges from China and around the world. The Beijing University, Tsinghua University, and the United States Military Academy at West Point also dispatched participants to the event. All the previous 5 competitions were held on campus in Queen's College. This year, the competition moves out of the Ivory Tower for the first time since 2008, as it unfolds at the Haitian Yizu tourism spot, which makes the event closer to the public. Zi Guangming, director of the Intelligent Control Lab in Beijing University and founder of the competition, said that this year's competition is more challenging than before. She said that such robots can be put underwater to search for sources of pollution, whereas it's hazardous for human beings. Buffalo fight activities were held Saturday in a country of southwest China's Guizhou province to entertain local residents and visitors. The annual event was hosted by farmers in the Sandui Shui Autonomous County during their farm slack season. 3 years ago, these buffalo fight enthusiasts founded a Buffalo Fight Association and decided to hold the buffalo fight competition every year. The fierce fight has attracted residents and visitors to the bull ring, bringing cheers and applause from spectators. Over 100 buffaloes from across the country participated in the 3-day event. The buffaloes are divided into 4 groups based on their chest measurement, age, and space between their 2 horns. Every fight lasts 6 minutes. With Taiwan's bicycle industry growing to more than $2 billion a year, it's no surprise that young designers are turning their attention to this popular means of transport. Nominated for the Best Design Award, the Light Life bike is designed to allow bikers to travel with their camping gear. A foldable one-person tent is stored inside the hub of the bicycle's front wheel and can be pulled out easily. Shows like this aim to help Taiwan move away from the image of manufacturer of cheap, low-quality products and make the Made in Taiwan branding more appealing to the global markets. It also serves as a business opportunity and recruitment platform. 131 designs from more than 60 university students and young designers are filling the exhibition hall of the 32nd Young Designers Exhibition in Taipei with new ideas from motorcycles to furniture and computer games. Toys are also being revamped. Lin Shunfu and his team are using cardboard to make lightweight riding horses, tents and cars. Lin explains the idea is that children's toys are disregarded quickly soon after the kids grow up, and that cardboard can be easily recycled. Taiwan's manufacturing capacity for high-volume, low-quality products peaked during the 1980s. But because of rising labor costs and competition from mainland China, the island is trying to switch to making valuable goods. Yodex is part of the government-backed effort to promote Taiwan's creative design sector. In the earthquake and disaster-prone island, this life-saving fire escape device has received a lot of attention. The device automatically lights up when the power goes off. Inside, it has 2 tubes. Each of them has an air-filtering bag that can be put over the head to prevent smoke inhalation when escaping from fire.